On top of calling this a homicide investigation now, deputies are also executing a search warrant at a home just down the street. As of right now, it's only 50% contained. Authorities in Virginia tracked him down through a social networking site. Multiple shots were fired. It was all pen and paper. These are the 310 calls that came in yesterday afternoon. We know we have one gunshot victim who was taken to the hospital. 600-plus acres have burned just south of where we are at Farm Workers Village. You'll see what's left of a car, maybe an engine block there. It was a young child that was probably playing with matches. These crime scene markers, these are shell casings. Right next to this scene is a playground. You end up close to where 50-year-old Bart Bailey was found. In Fort Myers, Max Tournier, Wink News Now. Well, deputies say 47-year-old Danny Lowe went into this Walgreens on Airport Pulling armed with a handgun and took the money right out of the register. Deputies say he likely did the same thing to 5 other locations, but tonight he's in jail. Collier County deputies arrested 47-year-old Danny Lowe on his birthday, December 3rd. According to investigators, he'd been on a crime spree for 2 weeks. Neighbor James Mees says he knew Lowe had a record, but thought that phase had passed.
I used my cell phone before, you know. I'd get him soda, whatever, you know. I mean, he's an approachable guy. I would never have thought.
Deputies say Lowe stole a Ford Expedition in early November and over the next couple of weeks robbed at least 3 Walgreens and 2 gas stations. Each time he would wear a stocking over his head and bear the same small black handgun. After a robbery at this Circle K on the 30th, deputies got a break.
A very good vehicle description, actually through video, was obtained. We had some people out that night who located what we believe is the vehicle, was the vehicle.
Parked in Lowe's driveway on Treetops Drive.
He's obviously well versed in this and knows how to commit robberies fairly well, fairly proficiently, in and out quickly.
Deputies say that's why they waited 3 days and enacted surveillance before making an arrest.
I can assure you that our citizens were safe.
And we know that Lowe does have an extensive criminal record from other areas in Florida. And we also know that deputies are saying now that other people may have been involved in some of these crimes. We'll have more coming up at 6. For now, we're live in Collier County. Max Tournier, Wink News Now. You guys, man. Environmental science students at Island Coast High School in Cape Coral train for what could potentially be a very real scenario.
The habitat and estuaries.
Our beaches are so clean, and with this oil spill coming, how gross would it be?
Nonprofit Otsego Bay Oil Spill Co-op gives the first certified lesson to these high schoolers on how to be a first responder.
It goes in steps. Like, first step you have is the buoys, the yellow buoys.
I want to take him.
I've been chosen to participate.
Okay. So, there you go. Now just imagine trying to do that on a boat that's going over in the seas and wrapping around.
Contain the oil is good, but we want to get rid of it.
Absorbent pads are placed on the surface. They repel water and take in the oil.
You pick up the absorbent pads and you put it into a specialized containers.
The original lesson plan calls for 24 hours of training, but since the Deepwater Horizon spill, that has changed.
OSHA has allowed now a 4-hour course for just hazardous material awareness and beach cleanup.
For these students, it's a chance to lend a hand.
But it does give them the ability to sign up to volunteer and follow the directions of the on-site coordinator.
Pride to help out.
And perhaps recognize a harsh reality that may lie ahead.
Can't just, sit there and do nothing about it. You got to do it. You got to fix it. You got to find people who like to fix it and, do it effectively.
In Cape Coral, Max Tournier, Wink News Now. If you look behind me, you can see fully grown tomato plants that are covered. Beyond that, there are green peppers, eggplants that are covered. About 20% of this farm is susceptible to the cold that's coming to us tonight. But the rest of this farm will likely survive, I'm told. The owner, Frank Oakes, says any kind of loss, though, is still devastating. Frank Oakes owns an organic food store in Naples, which he stocks with produce from his own 5-acre farm. He, like many growers, is preparing for a knockout punch of cold weather tonight and tomorrow.
We've been peppered with jabs for 7-8 days in a row now, so the plants are weak. The things that I'm going to lose tonight are the things that people like the most.
Shelves are stocked with tomatoes, bell peppers, strawberries, and other produce. An early Saturday morning harvest was a last-ditch effort to bring the fragile crops in from the cold. Those not ready for harvest are covered with freeze cloth. Oakes says despite measures, if temperatures drop below 30, he may lose them anyway.
It just literally wipes you out where you have no income. It's just like you losing your job for 4 months.
Some produce can handle a cold snap.
The broccolis, the collards, the kales, the cauliflower, the cabbage.
Some cannot, like apprentice farmer Mia Rongsted's microgreens.
Edible flowers and beautiful things like micro basil and micro celery. You have to pay more to have it shipped over, and it's just coming to an interesting, perfect storm.
A storm that could have a multi-million-dollar effect on the local fruit and produce industry. We're already getting close to the point where we could be seeing some damage already. And Jeremiah, there's a long, cold night ahead. In Naples, Max Tournier, Wink News Now. When it comes to cracking down on lawbreakers, these guys are the best of the best.
Come on now, you go! This is the 7th annual SWAT challenge, the toughest SWAT challenge in the state of Florida. That's the way, guys. Get your gas, man!
Sarasota, Bradenton, Kissimmee, and 12 other agencies take a day off from putting their lives on the line.
Go. Great camaraderie going on here, and basically bragging rights.
Spectators watch as teams are pushed to the edge of physical exertion. Deborah Coy brought her grandson, Jaden.
I just said to them, they're not, well, not that they're just police officers, but these guys are the ones that step in when the trouble is really unmanageable.
When the citizens need help, they call the police, or when the police need help, they call upon SWAT.
They work together and stand ready for anything.
Shooting the big rifle things and running over and jumping over the big walls and stuff.
Physical fitness level has got to be at such a high level at all time because you never know what you're going to run into.
Then fire a weapon with maximum precision.
These are what real men are.
Men that not only protect the citizens of their respective area, but encourage and inspire.
I wish I could do that.
Max Tournier, Wink News Now.